Going everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be heading back into the world of what if Damon was in Dragon Ball. If you guys missed the other 8 parts, or just need a refresher, make sure you click the link above to check them out. Stay ready to watch this episode. If you guys really like this channel, and Dragon Ball in general, make sure you guys come in and join the Discord server, where we talk a lot about Dragon Ball, what ifs, just casual discussions, and it's a lot of fun. If you guys are interested, make sure you click the link down below to go join the server. Or if you want to just chat with me and see my real life routine, follow me on Instagram over at Damon is here, I guess. I'll most likely respond on there, so that's the best place to chat. With all that out of the way, let's dive straight back into the what if. We pick up right after the defeat of Gold Cold, with all the Z fighters going off to do their own training and try and surpass the level of King Cold. That defeat was pretty rough for a good number of us, as most of us thought we were at our strongest that we could get, so Gold Cold was really a rude awakening for us. The Saiyans and androids went off to go do their own training, while I stayed on the lookout with Kami, Piccolo, and Old Kai. Now, with Old Kai here, I know that there are ways he can make us all stronger. It's going to be very useful. Old Kai tries to adjust to living up here, and not freak out too much about being stuck on an alien planet. Kami is as nice to him as he can be, since he's the god above gods. I know Old Kai is pretty grumpy, but try to get him to enjoy life up here for as long as possible before the Dragon Balls are fully activated once again. Old Kai opens up after a few weeks, however, and shows us some of his special magical powers and abilities. He is able to teach all of us moves, such as the Kai equivalent of barriers, which are much stronger than Lapis's, and can withstand extremely powerful attacks. All of us also learn how to summon Kachin out of thin air, which if you don't know is the strongest metal in the universe. So if you got that hurled at you, that would be extremely painful. Old Kai also teaches us a super divine technique with far-seeing arts, which allow us to telepathically communicate with beings far outside our plane of existence, and see what they're up to with a crystal ball. I'm super interested in learning this move, as you know, maybe I can use it to communicate with my family and friends back in my world. This training is very long, as this technique is something even the Supreme Kais have trouble learning, and it takes many months to get the hang of perfectly. This isn't all we practice in this time, as Old Kai finally decided to have all of us undergo the ritual to unlock our ultimate forms, as maybe having our potential unlocked will help in getting the far-seeing arts down faster. Kami unlocks his potential first, and boosts his strength amazingly. Kami had been falling behind as of late in terms of strength, but releasing his ultimate form was really what he needed to get back up there in terms of power. Having his ultimate form unlocked not only helped with his strength either, it helped increase the Dragon Ball strength as well. Kami can sense that with this power, the Dragon Balls are stronger than before, and might even match a Namekian's variant in terms of power. I'm very excited by this, as if ours were better than the Namekians, then we can just gather ours to make the big wishes, and not rely on the Namekians anymore. Piccolo is next to get his potential unleashed, and Old Kai is hesitant to at first due to Piccolo's troubled past. But as of late, he has really changed into a better person. He has been humbled by Kami and I, not really wanting to kill anymore, he just wants to get stronger. Old Kai unleashes Piccolo's ultimate form, and his strength finally catches up with us. Of course, this Piccolo is not as strong as the canon one, but having his ultimate form brought out is going to bring him close to that level of power. Plus, once he transforms to his ultimate form, he looks much younger and vibrant, allowing him to fight much better. Piccolo is really impressed, as all of his power has been drawn out in full. It's amazing. He never would have gotten his power if he had stayed on the evil side, which makes him feel a little guilty about all of his past actions. All he had to do was do good, and he could have gotten strength like this earlier. I tell Piccolo that he needs to move on from his troubled past. Sure, he killed, but ever since he was released from the rice cooker, he's been improving himself for the better, and hasn't had any urges to go on a killing spree, which shows he really has changed. So he needs to just keep improving and get over his past mistakes. Piccolo thanks me for the kind words and slaps me on the back, telling me it's my turn to go on and get my potential unlocked. Old Kai begins a ritual on me, and the ritual takes a very long time to complete, longer than both of Piccolo's and Kami's combined. Luckily, sitting around for over a day doesn't bother me, as hell, I've trained with God, the most patient person on the planet, so I'm not bothered just sitting around for a day. Old Kai states that I have enormous potential, and it's taking a little while to draw it all out, which makes me feel really good that I still haven't hit my limit yet. After almost 2 days, Old Kai tells me that the ritual is completed, and I should try to unleash my full power. I don't feel any different at all, and stand up hoping something is going to happen. Before I do, I make sure to take a few extra steps back from Old Kai, just in case, as he wasn't too pleased when Gohan unleashed his power in canon. I power up, and destroy half of the lookout with my power. My hair raises up, and I become extremely buff, my white aura blowing away Piccolo, Kami, and Old Kai anyways. Everyone on Earth feels a tremble from my power-up, and I realize this pretty quickly and stop powering up, and then take a look at myself. This power, It's incredible. Nothing like I've ever felt before. I really had all of this power inside me waiting to be awakened? I'm speechless. I shake Old Kai's hand furiously, thanking him so much. And once we've completed our training under him, I promise I'll make it up to him and help him out. Old Kai doesn't know what I can do to help him out with, but tells me that I better put this power to good use for him. Of course, I'm not going to let Old Kai down, and I continue my training under him in far-seeing arts. With our potential unlocked, we're all finally able to complete our work into far-seeing arts, and able to summon crystal balls to look in on anybody in the universe. Kami is super happy about this, as now he can really be the god of Earth, getting in a good close-up view to see the world down below. And we use his to check up on the Saiyans and androids, who are getting their share of training in. Kami looks at me, and he knows what I'm about to do. He tells me not to get my hopes up, as we don't know if I'm going to be able to check up on my actual, real-world friends and family. I tell him I know, but hey, it's worth a shot, right? I summon my crystal ball and try to look for my parents, and everything is all fuzzy. I can see them, which is a start, but it's very glitchy, and they seem to be frozen. I don't know what's going on. They look the same, they're just not moving. They look the exact same as the day I left. Did no time at all pass for them? And why aren't they moving? Has time stopped for everybody in the real world? I have a lot of questions, but unfortunately, nobody knows the answer. I use the ball again to search my old girlfriend Karis, and what I see shocks me even more. She's not back at her home, or even our world. She's here. She looks a decade older, and she's training? She's actually here. I instantly try to lock in on her key signature, and find it much higher than a normal human's, so I'm able to get it in instant transmission over to her. Karis is busy going through her normal training routine, when suddenly, I appear right in front of her. She jumps up super far in the air, startled by the strange man's sudden appearance, and goes to throw a punch at me. I catch her fist, and while I'm able to, I'm impressed that it actually took effort to catch. She's much stronger. I tell her to stop, and that it's me. I power down from my ultimate form, and show her that it's really me. Karis gasps, and tears fill her eyes, and she rushes in, and we embrace. It's been so long since we've seen each other, too long, and we finally found each other again. After our hour-long hug, I ask her how it's possible that she's here. Did she somehow find a way to follow me here? I knew she was in the room when I myself got transported here. Did she get caught up in it and transported here too? Karis tells me to slow down, and she'll explain everything.
Alright people, let's start at the beginning one last time. My name is Karis, and I'm Damon's girlfriend. Well, I was before all the dimension traveling shit that happened to us. We were just hanging out as normal, when suddenly this bright light appeared in front of us, and some weird purple man showed up and slapped Damon into it. He followed closely afterward, and I wasn't gonna let Damon be pushed around like that from anybody, so of course I had to follow and make sure he was alright. After having a seizure heading through a wormhole, I landed in some weird wasteland all alone, not sure what exactly happened or where Damon and that purple guy was. After walking around and yelling for anybody, someone finally appeared in front of me. That purple dude who smacked Damon in here. The dude told me that I wasn't supposed to be here, and that this was only supposed to happen to Damon. But he's not gonna bring me back because he thinks it's pretty funny. He tells me that this isn't my world. This is the world of Dragon Ball, and Damon was teleported here to fulfill a purpose. So if I have any chance of surviving in this world, I might as well do my best to go and find him. I don't even have time to ask any questions as the dude just straight up disappeared on me. Asshole. Hearing that I'm in another dimension is pretty trippy, especially some weird ass anime dimension. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball, besides the little things that I've talked with Damon about, so I have literally no idea what to do. I just go off and walk to the closest city, which is called West City. I have no idea where to go, but after walking around for a bit and talking in the city, I notice a large building called Capsule Corp, which kinda sounds familiar. I walk up to the building and go inside, which is pretty easy since the workers there just think I'm a friend of someone named Bulma. I don't question it, as this place is shelter and I kinda want to be safe somewhere. A man named Dr. Briefs notices the sadness on my face, and he says he's a doctor and can talk about anything if I want. I mean, I've got literally nothing else to do, and nowhere else to go. And plus, I think I noticed this dude's face in some of Damon's videos, so maybe I should talk with him. I tell the guy about how I'm not exactly from around here, and I have nowhere else to go. He still thinks I'm a friend of his daughter, and tells me that I can just hang out here for as long as I want until I'm able to find out where to go. Super nice of the guy. So I decided to hang out here for now, and for the next few weeks, I was living like royalty, getting all of the food that I wanted and being treated amazingly. Of course, Dr. Brief had me make it up to him by being his lab assistant on projects and whatnot. It wasn't really hard, I just stood around and took notes for him and handed him objects that he needed. Lab work wasn't bad, and he did some experiments on the animals in his lab, and some of them were really cool and couldn't be done by the technology of my home dimension. Like, he got certain animals to talk, and some to become other lab assistants. Which was freaking weird, but I ain't gonna question it. One day though, one of the projects didn't go exactly as planned, as one of the genetically modified animals got loose. Of course, Dr. Briefs is an old-ass man who can't exactly chase down anything, so I helped him out in grabbing a few of the animals. I managed to grab one of the spiders, and the little bastard bit me, so of course I just killed it. Not sorry. The rest of the day was spent doing more work, and that night I felt a little weird, like I was burning up, and seeing things. It wasn't the best night in the world, but I managed to get over it. When I woke up, though, was a completely different story. I looked at myself in the mirror and like, okay, Karis, I see you. Looked a lot more ripped than usual, and I have no idea why. I feel a lot tighter on my feet as well, and am able to jump pretty high. This gives me some flashbacks of the Spider-Man movies, so just to check it out, I tried to climb a wall, and holy shit, I can climb a wall. Did I seriously get Spider-Man powers here? That's awesome! I abused the hell out of my powers during the day, just doing acrobatics around the lab, which Dr. Briefs says he is impressed by. Today is also the day when Bulma returned. I've heard a lot about her from Dr. Briefs, and seen some stuff from Damon's videos, so it was nice to finally meet her. We talked for a little bit, and I told her I've been helping out her dad. Bulma says it's nice he finally got an assistant, and tells me about her travels to find all 7 of the Dragon Balls. Oh, the Dragon Balls. That's what the show is named after, okay. I asked Bulma how the journey went. She says it was a wild ride. She met her boyfriend Yamcha over here, and a kid named Goku. Damon who abandoned her right off the bat, and I stopped her right there. She met Damon! Where is he? How can I find him? Bulma says that the last time she saw him, he was over at some creepy old man's house to get some training in, apparently. It's a huge relief knowing that he's alright, so I prepare to go off and find him. Bulma doesn't recommend it, since that old man is a creep, and I'm not going to be able to get there on my own without any boats. But I mean, I'm Spider-Woman now, right? I can get there on my own. Don't think I should have anybody knowing it's me on the way, however, since there are a lot of enemies in this world, apparently. So it would be best if I had a disguise, that way nobody knows it's me. Bulma is pretty chill, so she helps me out in making a pretty cool suit. She doesn't know why I want a suit like this, but I ain't gonna reveal my secret just yet. My Spider-Woman suit is completed, and I go off swinging around the city, off to find Damon. On my way there, I took out a few criminals because I wanted to test out my powers, and damn am I strong, since they stood no chance. Don't want to be fighting off criminals too long though, as I gotta go find Damon, and tell him what happened to me. It takes a few days to get to where Bulma told me, but once I show up on the island, there's nothing there. Did I get the wrong coordinates? What happened? I'm very frustrated and decide to head back to Capsule Corp, hoping that I can get another clue to go and find Damon. On the way back though, I run into these group of soldiers with 2 R's on their helmets. I've heard about these guys. Dr. Briefs told me they were called the Red Ribbon Army, and that they're an evil crime organization who mess with Capsule Corp's imports all the time. They might as well put my Spider-Woman skills to the test, and attempt to take all of these guys out. I work my new powers on these guys, and easily take out a lot of them. The people in town are pretty happy with the soldiers being taken out of their home, and ask me if I can stick around to help take out the rest of them once they come back. I mean, I don't really want to stick around and just go off and find Damon. But these people do be needing my help though, and I have the power to help, so it's the right thing to do. Spider-Woman hangs around the town for a few months, fighting off the soldiers when they come in, and trying to take out the stronghold. The stronghold has many soldiers, so I just go off and kill a bunch of them to get the numbers down, you know? Red Ribbon soldiers sent in many of the robots, and those were very intense matches as well, but they ain't got nothing on me, and I can take them out. Finally, the town is saved from the army, and the inhabitants thank me, and they give me a lot of supplies that I'm going to need for my journey. While fighting off these soldiers, there were many who gave up the locations of the other strongholds, and I couldn't just let those stay out there, so I went off and did my job as Spider-Woman to get rid of the army. Going around for many more months, getting rid of most of the soldiers. Finally, it's time to go after the main base, and while I make my way there, there is a little boy who is already doing my job for me. I can tell by his odd hairstyle that it's Goku. If Goku's here, then that means Damon shouldn't be far behind. I help out Goku in taking out the army, and he is pretty impressed with how strong I am and thinks that my spider powers are insanely cool. Once we finish off the remaining soldiers, I ask Goku if he knows Damon, and Goku says he's one of his best friends. He trained with him for a long time, and they were just in a world tournament together. That was the last time he saw him, and he thinks he went off to some sort of shape-shifting school, so if I want to find him, I should go look there. I shake Goku's hand, thanking him for the help, and I go off looking for him once more. I make my way to the shape-shifting school, and as luck would have it, Damon's not there anymore, and just finished his schooling the day after. The school board has no idea where he went off to, but ask if I'd like to stick around in case he comes back. Staying around for him would be my best bet, and plus, staying here and learning shape-shifting would be super dope. So I decide to enroll and learn shape-shifting too. I stick around here for about a year, getting the skill of shape-shifting down pat, and being able to turn into anything I want. My studying is finished, but Damon never showed back up. So now I have no idea what to do. So I'll head back off to Capsule Corp and see if there's any other way to find him. West City is still the same though, and no signs of Damon or anybody else. Bulma tells me that she also has no idea where he is, so maybe I should just stay here and hope for the best. Spider-Woman becomes the hero of West City as I go around beating up some thugs in my spare time while working on getting some goals for myself in my own life, such as going to hairdressing school. Years pass, and life has been pretty slow, and my double life as a superhero has been pretty taxing, but I still love doing it. One day though, I am attacked by some weird-ass looking clown. I have been training as Spider-Woman for years, and have become a really good fighter. But this guy is on a whole other level, and I can barely even hurt him. He takes me out with little to no difficulty, and I'm kidnapped. Once I wake up, I find myself in the lab of a red ribbon scientist named Dr. Jiro. Discovered that I helped Goku in taking out the Red Ribbon Army, so now I'm going to be working for him. I don't really remember much of this encounter, but Jiro managed to experiment on me and transform me into an android. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop this procedure at all, and became one of Jiro's mindless androids. My codename was Ghost Spider, and my task was to go around and collect others to bring them to Jiro, so we could convert them into more androids. For years, I was Jiro's personal plaything, and forced thousands of people to undergo the android procedure. Jiro's empire had grown extremely large, and the day had finally come where he could get his revenge on Goku. His androids went out and destroyed the city, with thousands running for their lives in terror. While I was busy webbing up people, I saw a figure go around and start taking out the other android soldiers. It was Damon! I don't remember a lot, but I remember seeing him flying around. It was really him after all this time. Just seeing him brought me out of my trance, but not for very long, as he flew by and with one hit I was knocked unconscious. I woke up days later in a hospital, not knowing what happened. The doctors told me that I was transformed into an android by the evil Dr. Jiro, but for some reason I was the only one who managed to regain my free will. They chalked it up to my spider DNA maybe saving me, but I knew the real reason. Damon was still out there, and he unknowingly saved me. Once I was able to leave the hospital, I tried to resume my duties as Spider-Woman, but it seems my android enhancements actually negated my powers, and I had no idea how to adjust. I couldn't even shoot webbing anymore without the web shooters Jiro created for me, which took some time getting used to. I wasn't going to be able to save anybody like this, so I needed to continue my training to get back on my feet and learn to adapt to my android body. It hasn't been easy, and I've been very discouraged, but suddenly, he appeared once again. My Damon.
Hearing my girl's story of her being alone here for so long, and Jiro torturing her the way he tortured me, just makes my heart hurt, and I apologize that I wasn't able to find her sooner. Karis tells me not to worry about it, it's all in the past, everything is better now. She's gotten over it, and she just wants to hear my side of the story, and how I've adapted to living in this world. I explained my whole side of the story to her, and she feels the same way about Jiro that I did. And she's pissed that he managed to do the same thing to me. I told her that he's dead now though, and she doesn't need to worry about him anymore. The other androids have become good friends of mine too, and I can introduce her to them once we're able to get her powers back. I pull her in close and I instant transmission back to the lookout. Karis is kinda freaked out to see two big green people, but I tell her that's just God, so there's nothing to worry about there. I thank old Kai so much for helping me find my girl again. I'm going to repay him for helping out. I tell everybody to stand back, and I begin to use my force spirit vision on the Kai, and successfully separate him from the old witch. Old Kai is in complete shock and looks at himself in wonder. He's finally himself again. He's finally back. The old witch is confused too, but she was a part of the Kai and got to experience what it was like to be a Kai, and she doesn't want any part of that anymore. She's finally free of that perv, so she's going to get the hell out of here. Before she leaves, I tell her that if she wants a good life, then maybe she should go visit fortune teller Baba, and I'm sure the two of them will get along great with their unique magical abilities. The old witch flies off, and old Kai tells me that the debt has 100% been repaid, and he can't thank me enough for freeing him of that old witch. Now he's gonna go down to the surface world and go find some hot ladies, which is exactly what he does. Once old Kai leaves, I tell Kami that I'm gonna have to be off world for a little bit, as I need to take Karis over to Yardrat, so she can have the same training that I did, so she can learn to harness her powers again. Kami tells me that that's fine with him. He'll make sure to look for her and stop any threats that can come on up, and he'll be able to contact me in case anything does happen due to our new abilities. I thank Kami, and Karis is willing to go off once again to harness her Spider-Woman powers. So she grabs onto me as I use instant transmission to teleport back to Yardrat. And that's where we're going to be leaving this part for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this very special episode where I got my girl to come on in and explain how she managed to get in here, and her journey throughout the Dragon World as well. Love you, Karis. Now, before we go, huge thanks to Professor X for becoming one of my patrons. It really means a lot, man. And I'm super glad you're able to help support me. If you want to be like Professor X over here and have your name at the end of the video, and have a bunch of special perks, then consider becoming a patron over on Patreon. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until we meet again, see you later!